Good morning, class 8 children. We were continuing with chapter number 18, air and water pollution. So already we had discussed about the air pollution, causes of the air pollution, and how air pollution can be reduced, the ways, or what our government is doing to reduce this. Next, we'll continue with the water pollution. We read about the water pollutant. Harmful substances such as sewage, toxic chemicals, silt, etc. When they mix with the water, it causes air pollution. Sorry, water pollution. Okay. Now we are going to study about the one of the case study of our famous river Ganga. That how Ganga river is going to be polluted. So let's and what step has been taken by the government. So Varuni, you can continue reading.
Okay, ma'am. 18.7. How does water get polluted? Case study.
Kindly switch on your cameras, children. Switch on your cameras. Yes, better.
Ganga is one of the most famous rivers of India. It sustains most of the northern, central, and eastern Indian population. Millions of people depend on it for daily needs and livelihood. However, recently a study by the World Wide Fund for Nature (WWF) found that Ganga is one of the 10 most endangered rivers in the world. The population level has been rising for many years. We have reached this stage because the towns and cities through which the river flows throw large quantities of garbage, untreated sewage, dead bodies, and many other harmful things directly into the rivers. In fact, the river is dead at many places where the population levels are so high that aquatic life cannot survive. An ambitious plan to save the river, called the Ganga Action Plan, was launched in 1985. It aimed to reduce the population level in the river. However, the increasing population and industrialization have been damaged this mainly river belonged repair. Now, the Government of India has launched a new initiative known as National Mission for Clean Ganga (NMCG) in 2016. Let us take a specific.
Okay, let's first of all underline these points that how Ganga rivers get polluted. What do? People throw large quantities of garbage, untreated sewage, dead bodies into the Ganga river. So due to this reason, the Ganga gets polluted. Okay, there was an ambitious plan to save Ganga. That was a Ganga Action Plan. Kindly underline this date can be there in MCQs. 1985. In 1985, this plan was launched. And what was the aim of this plan? To reduce the pollution levels in the river Ganga. Okay, kindly underline it. And 2016, the Ganga Action Plan was to clean Ganga. One more action was started. So these are the initiative taken by our government. Few more points we'll see in the next reading, that how the river is going to be polluted. Yes, Sanshika Agarwal, kindly switch on your cameras, children. Only those will be reading whose cameras are on. Yes, Sanshika.
Let us take a specific example to understand the situation. The Ganga at Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh, UP, has one of the most polluted stretches of the river. Kanpur is one of the most populated towns in UP. People can be seen bathing, washing clothes, and defecating in the river.
But underline this one more point. People can be seen bathing, washing, and defecating in the river. They throw garbage, flowers, idols of God and goddess, and non-biodegradable polythene bags into the river. So this is one more reason how the people are polluting the river. So this is the reason they are throwing such type of garbage into the rivers. Yes, better continue.
At Kanpur, the amount of water is comparatively small and the flow of the river is very slow. In addition, Kanpur has more than 5,000 industries. These include fertilizers, detergents, leather, and paint industries. These industrial units discharge toxic chemical waste into the river.
So
Based on the
one more reason is there, what the because in the surrounding there is an industrial area, and the detergent, leather, paint, etc. are thrown into the river. So that's one of the most or the major reason that why the Ganga river is going to be polluted. Okay. So on the basis of these, what we have read, here are few of the questions. I hope you are able to give the answers of it. What are the factors responsible for the pollution of the river? What steps can be taken to restore the river Ganga to past glory? What step the government has taken? How would the disposal of garbage, etc., affect living organism in the river? So three questions are there. First, you have to tell that what are the factors responsible for pollution. So all the points just we have read, that how and why this Ganga river is going to be polluted. Can you give me the answer of the second question? What step has been taken by the government? Yes, Varuni.
The government has launched Ganga Action Plan in 1985. It aimed to reduce the pollution level in the river. Secondly, the government launched National Mission for Clean Ganga (NMCG) in 2016.
Okay, so the two steps has been taken by the government: Ganga Action Plan and National Cleanliness for the river Ganga. Next question number 3, how would the disposal of garbage affect the living organism? Is it disposal of garbage in the river going to affect the living organism? Is it affecting the living organisms or not? Tell me. Living organisms get affected or not?
yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
first your answer is yes, the living organisms are affecting, because whenever they are, you must have seen many of the living aquatic animals are dying because people used to throw polythene bags directly into the rivers or the waste into the rivers. When they take it, so that they can die. Okay, even whenever the factory waste is released into the rivers, it increases the water, increases the temperature of the rivers. And if the temperature of the river increases, rivers or the ponds increasing or the aquatic life, they can't survive in that temperature. So one of the major reason is this. Then two, the aquatic life is affected. Okay. So yes, the life is affected by both of the reasons. Yes, Ivanshi, continue with next of the step. Many industries. Not able to hear if you are reading.
Ma'am, can I read?
Yes, Ivanshi, read. Not audible.
Many industries put harmful chemicals into rivers and streams, causing the pollution of water. Example of oil refineries, paper factories, textiles and sugar mills, and chemical factories. These industries cause chemical contamination of
Contamination. It is contamination of water.
and the chemical release include arsenic, lead, and
Beta,
fluoride.
kindly underline which chemicals are released: arsenic, lead, and fluorides. This question may be there in the MCQ. Which chemicals are released into the water? That is arsenic, lead, and fluorides.
Toxicity in a plants and animals. There are regulations to prevent these. Industries are supposed to treat the waste produced before discharging it into water, but quite often the rules are not followed. The soil is also affected by impure water, causing change in acidity.
Acidity and growth of worms, etc. Okay, Ananya Prasad, continue with the next paragraph. After
We
that,
have
Aditya
learned in
Jain.
class. We have learned in chapter 1 the importance of pesticides and weedicides for the protection of crops. However, all these chemicals dissolves in water and are washed into water bodies from the field. They also seep into the ground to pollute groundwater. How you see ponds which look green from a distance because they have a lot of algae growing in them.
It's alga. Alga growing. I think, children, you must have seen many of the ponds which are covered with a green colored layer. And that green colored layer is known as alga. Have you seen a pond where the stagnant water is there? उसके ऊपर एक greenish color की layer होती है. That greenish layer is known as alga. Have you seen somewhere?
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe you must have seen somewhere sometimes ago. So that green layer, how it grows. So there is a reason behind it, children. And kindly underline this paragraph. This is very, very important. How alga grow there. This is caused by the excessive quantities of the chemicals which get washed from the fields. You know, these farmers, they use pesticides. And when they washed away, whenever due to the excessive rain, they are washed away, they reaches to the pond. And this act as a nutrient for the alga to flourish. And once this alga die, they can become the food for the decomposers like bacteria. What is the result of it? As a result of it, lot of oxygen in the water is used up. The level of oxygen become less in the ponds. So that result in the level of the oxygen in the ponds, and that kill the aquatic organisms. So this process is known as eutrophication even. इस process को हम eutrophication भी कहते हैं, when the level of oxygen decreases in the ponds. Okay. So Aditya Jain, you may continue with the next paragraph. Sometimes untreated sewages. Unmute. Aditya Jain.
Ma'am, can I read?
Chaitanya.
Sometimes untreated sewage is thrown directly into rivers. It contains food waste, detergents, microorganisms, etc. Can groundwater get polluted by sewage? How? Water
Contaminated.
with contaminated with sewage
Sewage.
sewage may contain bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites, which causes disease like cholera, typhoid, and jaundice.
Children
The
underline कर
bacteria
लीजिए. Children kindly underline. These are 3 waterborne diseases. 3 waterborne diseases are cholera, typhoid, and jaundice. These are 3 waterborne diseases. Kindly mark it. Maybe the question in the MCQs. Continue.
The bacteria present in the faces of mammals are indicators of the quality of water. If water has these bacteria, it means that it has been contaminated by fecal matter. If such water is used by us, it can cause various infections.
Infections are
Do you
caused
know?
by if we are using the dirty water. The water which contains the bacteria, if we are using that water, we will be infectious and the diseases may caused. And do you know, it's very, very important question. Hot water can also be a pollutant. What do you think, children? Hot water, is it a pollutant? Is it good for animals or bad for animals? Tell me. Is it good for animal if we put a hot water into the ponds, lakes, rivers, ocean, seas? So will it be good for animals or not? आप मुझे वैसे सोच के बताइए. What's it? Anybody? Yes, no, anything? No. At least reply yes, good for the animals or not good for the animals.
For animals.
Yes.
Ma'am, because it is
हाँ बोलो बेटा. Is it good for animals or not? Rest. Anybody can give any of the answer. Yes, no, I'm asking. What do you think? Is it good? Hot water for aquatic life or not?
No, ma'am.
no,
So
ma'am.
children, aquatic like hot water is not good. We have read. This is actually water from the power plants and industries. It is released into the rivers. It raises the temperature of the water body, which adversely affect the animals and plants living in it. Not the animals, even the plants get affected when the hot water is thrown into the rivers. Okay, so hot water is not good for the plants as well as animals. So children, we have read about the water pollution, water pollutants, diseases caused by waterborne diseases, or the diseases caused by the bacteria. And after that, the case study of Kanpur, from which the Ganga river flows. Next comes what is a potable water and how that water is purified. So let's have a look. We have few steps. There are few questions before going further. Why do we need to filter water before? Everybody is using filter at their home. What is the need of using the filters? Where do you get your drinking water from? What will happen if we drink polluted water? So I think you can give the answers of these three questions. Can I have the answers from your side? Why do we need to filter water? Kindly raise hand and give me the answer. Yes, Saksham Tiwari. Ansh Tomar, Ananya Prasad, Prab Seft, Saksham Vasanwal, Simarjeet, Ananya Kahra.
Ma'am, the water which looks clean, they may still having diseases carrying microorganisms and dissolved impurities. So it is important to purify the water for drinking.
Okay, good. So water looks appear, but exactly it's not. It contains many of the impurities. So that's why we need to filter. Okay. Answer of second question. Where do we get drinking water from? Daily in the morning and evening, you get drinking water. So from, yes, Tanya, from where this water comes from?
I'm from rivers.
Directly river से आता है?
No, ma'am. First it will
Yes,
pure.
Akshika.
I'm from groundwater.
ग्राउंड वाटर से कहाँ आता है बेटा? डेली जो हमारे घरों में पानी आता है सुबह शाम, वो कहाँ से आता है? हम वी आर नॉट यूजिंग द हैंड पंप्स. ग्राउंड वाटर से कैसे आएगा? एनीबडी एनी आइडिया फ्रॉम वेयर वी गेट वाटर फ्रॉम? यू डोंट नो?
Ma'am, rivers and ponds.
रिवर्स एंड पॉन्ड में तो वाटर प्रेजेंट है, बट डेली कहाँ से आता है? द वाटर इज स्टोर्ड इन द टैंक. वाटर टैंक से आ रहा है पानी, आपने देखा होगा. At a few distance from your home, the water is stored there. The pure water, purified water is stored there, and then we get that water at our homes in morning and evening twice a day. Next, what will happen if we drink polluted water? We'll suffer from, yes, what will happen? Yes, Varuni. Tell Varuni.
Ma'am, if we drink polluted,
diarrhea.
Okay, it will be suffer from the diseases, waterborne diseases, diarrhea, cholera. Yes, Ananya Prasad, jaundice.
Ma'am, if we drink polluted water, then we have to suffer from many diseases.
Okay, fine. So I think these are three of the questions are clear to you. You have understood the questions. Next. Yes, Ananya Kahra, you can read.
Okay, ma'am. Bhuju is very upset. He tells Paheli that he drank water which looked clear and was without any smell, but still he fell sick. Paheli explains that water which looks clean may still have diseases carrying microorganisms and dissolved impurities. So it is essential to purify water before drinking. For example, by boiling. Water which is suitable for drinking is called a
You must be
potable
knowing,
water.
children, we are using the filters even at our home. Yeah, ROs we are using, but when you go to the doctor, whenever you are sick or whatever is there, doctor prefers to use the boiled water. You know that? Why he used to say for the boiling? Boiled water is pure, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Pure water is free from the impurities. When you boil the water, the impurities goes away. Okay, continue.
You have seen how various physical and chemical processes in the sewage treatment plant help to clean water before discharging it into water bodies. Similarly, municipal bodies treat the water before supplying it to household. Do you know 25% of the world's population is without safe drinking water? Let us see how water can be made safe for drinking. You have already seen how water is filtered. This is a physical method of removing impurities. A popular household filter is a candle type filter. Many households use boiling as a method for obtaining safe drinking water. Boiling kills the germs present in the water. Chlorination is a commonly used chemical method for purifying water. It is done by adding chlorine tablets or bleaching powder to the water. We must be cautious. We should not use more chlorine tablets than specified.
Okay, beta, fine. So potable water, you know, children, water suitable for drinking, but how we can make water suitable for drinking? So there are few ways. This is a physical method, the filters we are using. Candle type filters are there, or RO. Can I have the full form of RO that you are using? And first filters we are using. Second point is that boiling the water. Boiling also kills the germs. And third point is chlorination. Chlorine tablets or a bleaching powder is added to purify the water. I think you know already this method. In class 7, we had read in last chapter that how wastewater is treated. So it is followed by the different steps. Physical, chemical, and biological steps are followed. Okay. So this was your potable water. I think last part is left. That is what can be done. What can be done to reduce the wastage of water and how the water can be treated in the plants? We can reduce, reuse, and recycle the water. Okay, so this is a wastewater plant, and already I hope you know it, that what steps are taken. Four different steps are taken to clarify the water. Okay, so what step you should take while saving the water? How we can save water? So here are few. While brushing your teeth, leaving the tap running may waste several liters of water. Tap that drips once every second waste a few thousand liters of the water every year. So think about it. Water is very precious. So we should save each drop of water. As you know, on the World Water Day, you are making many of the posters to save water, but actually you need to do that also. Okay, even at your home, whenever the leakage is there in any of the tap, kindly tell your parents to repair it and use water wherever it is. Don't waste the water or throw the water here. And you can reuse. Can you give me few of the points how we can reuse the water? Few points. घर में आप पानी को कैसे reuse कर सकते हो? बताओ. if you are batao beta, how we can reuse the water at home. Suppose if we are washing the vegetables, so don't throw that water in the drain. You can put that water into the flower pots. आपके घर में जो गमले लगे हुए हैं आप उनको पानी दे सकते हैं. You can water the plants. Any other? Yes, Ananya? Or instead of throwing water, you can mop. Okay. Pipe आप use कर सकते हैं instead of bucket. Bucket and mug use करिए for bathing instead of your showers. So these few precautions to be kept in mind. So we should not waste the water. So children, this was your chapter. Rest, the back exercise will take tomorrow, okay, in the next class.